We're back with a brand new track, except we're not doing a track. It's a podcast. I guess podcasts go in audio tracks.
Crack.
Yeah, we love a good backsacking. Most importantly, crack. Anyway, oh god, coming up in today's podcast.
I just gotta say before we start, God, I love crack.
We've got a creepy thing that happened to me. We love that sort of thing. We've got Freak of the Week. We've got me being a freak as well as that. Something really weird.
Nice.
Another weird thing happened to me. We love to go, as we do every year, as a tradition on this podcast now, we're going to read through the I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here cast and see if we know any of them.
Oh,
and also, I got to talk about a show that I've been watching that also freaked me out. A lot of creepy occurrences in this podcast. But first off, Judd, you done nothing since last podcast again? Or what?
No, I went to the doctor's today.
Oh, I don't care. Anyway, what did you go to the doctors for? You dying yet? Yet?
Well,
I said yet.
That's the thing. So no, you know how I've been having like problems with my stomach.
Yes, you have.
Yeah.
Fucking
so
weird stomach.
Today was really bad with it. I've had the day off work with it, and I got up, and what happened is last night we'd been out for me granddad's birthday, as you know.
Yeah.
That's why we're doing it today instead of doing the podcast yesterday. And I had a few drinks, but not a lot. That's why when I woke up this morning, I thought, oh, I'm hungover here. I'm gonna sit on toilet for a bit.
Yeah.
Worst comes to worst, I'll probably be in late, if anything. And you know, I'll just have to be like, I'm sorry, I'm late. But it's like I was on the toilet, and I'm on the toilet, and my head's in the sink, and I'm literally spewing from both ends for like an hour, and
I mean, that's terrible.
and then I, like, you know, as like the sort of hungover feeling wore off, I was like, I'm not hungover anymore, but I'm still really ill, and I'm like, this isn't just a hangover. This is my stomach being awful. So I booked into the doctor's, and I got in for an appointment, and essentially what it came down to was he thinks I might just have like IBS, which, you know, irritable bowel syndrome. Yeah,
the funny one.
And I that could be it. I'm doing tests to make sure it's like nothing else, just to make sure. I've got to do a blood test next Thursday. At some point he wants a bit of my poo, so I'm going to sort him out a lovely bit of my poo at some point.
Do you have to do one of those where you're like shit in a tube? Because I seen you one of those recently. That's something I wanted to talk about, actually.
Weird. but yeah, so I probably just have IBS. I went in, I laid down on a table, he like poked my belly a bit, and I went, oh, you don't have cancer. But yeah, so I'm having my stomach looked at. That's pretty much been the highlight of my week.
Isn't it? It's quite a miracle that not that you're all right, that you managed to get a doctor's appointment in the UK. Like, that's the miracle here. Like, how the fuck did that happen?
Well, I'll tell you how that happened. I was like, you know, in no state to call because I was still hanging my head in the sink. So my nan sorted it for me.
Right.
she was like, I came down. She was like, do you know how many times I like called that place up while you've been on the toilet all that time to like try and get through? And I was like, how many? It's just like 100.
Yeah, our country is a mess. It's an absolute mess. For what it is, like, for a first world country, it's kind of fucked. Like, yeah, honestly, it's a bit insane at this point. But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Mr.
Probably
Scooby-Doo?
shit. Knowing me, I'll probably just shit.
Probably just shit yourself more.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to fix the voting system. It's absolutely terrible. But at least you've only got IBS and not anything worse. I do think our genetics are predisposed to kind of like fucked up bowels in a way, because both of us have the same issue with pissing. Well, actually, you're probably worse with pissing, but that's for a different reason. That's just because you like to piss. But like, you know, when we've had something to drink, especially alcohol, but not even just alcohol, even if we've been drinking water all day, and we go to the toilet, that's it now. We are going to be like every few minutes up and down to the toilet all the time, and we both get it. And I did have a thing where I've had a little bit. I think we might have the same sort of issue, but you must have it worse in that we've often needed emergency poos as well, haven't we? Like that's like quite a reoccurring thing, actually. So yeah. Although I am a spice boy and I do like spicy food, that might have helped. I don't know.
like back when I used to post leaflets. I've told the me shitting while posting leaflet stories a fair few times, but it'd be like that. It's like, look, I need to go and shit.
Yeah, many a time Judd's had to shit in people's gardens and all sorts without them knowing. If you're a new listener of the podcast and you're not aware of what story we're talking about, tweet at Tweets Badly and let us know if you want to hear that story on the next podcast, and we'll retell some of our older classic stories, as you might call them, if needed. So there we go. Well, I've got plenty of stuff to tell you about, Judd. All sorts of shit goes on. How about we start with one of the many creepy things that's happened to me lately?
Yes, I'm interested in this.
Picture this. I'm asleep. It's like 3 a.m. Okay?
Yeah.
In fact, it's literally 3 a.m. because of what happened. It made me like look at the time. I was in bed, all cozy. It was a normal night. Nothing weird had happened. I don't remember how long ago this was either, but for some reason, my phone turned itself on and an alarm started going off on it at 3 a.m.
That's weird.
For no reason. And I thought, well, maybe I've accidentally set a reminder, because I use like Google Voice Assistant in my car to set loads of reminders and all sorts of stuff like that. Maybe I've done that. But that wasn't the end, because I obviously turned it off and went, oh, fucking phone. And I put it on the side and put my head down on my pillow again. And then after a minute or so, I heard bzzz. And like, because when you turn my phone on, it vibrates once to let you know it's coming on. And I'm like, the fuck has turned itself on again? It's like, what? It just out of nowhere, it turned itself on again. And an alarm didn't go off this time. It were like maybe 3 minutes after it had turned on the first time and set an alarm off, because I'd turned it off within a minute, and then it took a couple of minutes, and then it came back on again. And I was trying to look on it and see if there's anything weird about it. I Googled, like, why might my phone be turning on itself? And nothing on Google told me anything. So safe to say, I was just kind of freaked out by the whole idea, and I was thinking, oh fuck, it's Mr. Robot. I'm gonna be Mr. Robot. I don't know.
Mr. Robot's gonna cancel you on Twitter.
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. So yeah, that was fucking weird. But I was also a little bit concerned by the fact that I couldn't find anything on Google to like say why that might have been happening as well.
Yeah,
I just thought that was a bit weird. But have you never had anything like that happen? I know I haven't.
No, I've had weird shit like that happen before, where just machines will just like do shit that like I've just straight up not asked them to do. It's like, what the fuck? Why?
It's pretty weird. I've been playing Horizon Zero Dawn, and obviously the machines on that kind of do some crazy shit. But that's a whole different thing, because they're all lions and things. So yeah,
I see.
It's a good game. I like it. Yeah, that happened. I just thought that was interesting. Should we do this, Judd? Should we look at I'm a Celebrity Cast? Let's do this, cause
yeah, go on then. Yeah.
I'm a mess today, by the way, for people who are watching the video version. I've had a haircut, but it's not sitting how I want it to. It's all ridiculous. I've got so many things to do. But I'm a Celebrity 2021. I've had a brief look at this, and sometimes I at least know ish like 3 people in it.
Yeah.
Out of like, how many is it? 6, 7, 8, out of like 10 to 12, there's normally 10 or 12 kind of people in it, and I normally know about 3-ish people. But in this one, I if I'm lucky, I know like 2. I think this time. So let's see how many of these you know, Judd. Starting off with Frankie Bridge.
Not a clue.
Any idea? You ever heard of S Club? S
I
Club.
I have heard of. I know S Club.
Well,
yes.
she's not part of them.
Oh,
She's part of S Club Juniors. Do you remember that?
you didn't even get a real one. No, I don't remember S Club Juniors.
It was kind of like Kids Bop before Kids Bop.
I was just gonna say, is this like a Kids Bop thing?
Kind of, but it was before Kids Bop, and it was when S Club 7 were doing like really big. I liked S Club 7. I need to listen to some more of those. She's also in the Saturdays. You know them? Heard of them?
Oh wait, no. Yeah, no, I think I've heard of the Saturdays.
So she's one of the ones I guess I know. I've never seen her face before, and I've never listened to a song of the Saturdays either. But I kind of know the Saturdays. In fact, should we get up? Let's fucking get up the Saturdays.
Oh, are we allowed?
Just Google those. Yeah, we get 3 seconds worth. So what about us seems like their biggest song. 39 million views on YouTube.
In control, we could switch roles and now take.
Do I know this song?
I don't.
It's this one. It's the whatever the weather we're gonna.
Oh yeah,
that one. I guess.
That one, yeah.
I think I know that. It's generic pop song 59. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's one of those.
Yeah,
so that's one of them. Next we've got Kadena Cox.
No,
I've not a clue either.
I've heard of Cox before. I'm actually quite a pro, to be honest.
She is the multi-talented sportswoman, competes in both cycling and athletics events, and won 2 golds in the Tokyo Paralympics earlier this year. So
nice.
She's not. I mean, she doesn't. I can't see how she's disabled immediately from the picture. I think it might be like special needs disability.
I was just gonna say maybe it's a disability of the mind.
I think so.
Maybe it's an unseen ailment.
Maybe. I think so. I'm currently looking at a picture that makes me think so. That's not a harsh judgment at all, but I don't know. Whatever. That's who she is. We've next got David Ginola or Ginola. I'm not sure. Ginola.
Mr. Guinea Pig. I never heard of him.
Not a fucking clue. Apparently he's French.
That sounded Italian when you said it.
Former Newcastle and Spurs legend. I guess he was a footballer.
Oh well, we'll not know that then, will we? Dad would probably be like, oh yeah, I know
maybe.
Him, but yeah.
He says, I know the Geordies. I've met Anton Deck before, and I know they are big, massive fans of Newcastle United. He sounds like a child talking about it.
He does. Big, massive fans.
Oh, God. Anyway, moving on. Matty Lee.
No, I don't think so.
No. Apparently, he won Olympic gold alongside Tom Daley earlier this year in the synchronized diving. So he's like, we couldn't get the one people like. We'll get the one who was stood next to him. Like, we couldn't get Tom Daley, who we probably would have known barely. But we'll get the other guy. That'll do.
Yeah. We'll get one of them.
Here's one
that sounds like what they're doing with everybody. It's like that S Club Junior. It's like, we can't get a real S Club member on. Come on.
That's how they do it. They get someone who's related to someone who's famous in some sort of way. And I don't mean birth relation, because that'd be too close. They've got some sort of link. We would do. You'd be close enough on I'm a Celebrity at this point.
Yeah.
Your mum married Darren Day. That's close enough.
I reckon, yeah.
Yeah. I think probably the most famous one is next, Richard Madeley.
No.
You don't know? You probably would know him. If you Google him, you'll know his face. He's a TV presenter from Richard and Judy. I think he took Piers Morgan's job. I know.
His second name?
Madeley. Madeley.
D-E, there he is. Madeley. Yeah, I think I recognise his face. I think I've seen him on TV.
Okay, I'm just getting a phone call, which is a massive pain in the... I'm not answering it. Fuck it, I'm not answering it. I'm busy. Do you know what that's going to be? I've been having another massive pain in the ass to do with my house, and I bet that's my auntie calling me to try and help me out with it. But I'll ring her back after this. I can't. I'm too busy. Next we have Danny Miller.
Danny Sexbang.
Danny Miller.
I wish it was... No, I don't know who Danny Miller is.
He played Aaron Dingle on Emmerdale. Your mum's been on Emmerdale. How did you not know that?
I didn't even watch the episodes my mum were in.
Your mum was on Emmerdale in like 2001. Right, okay. Next, Louise Minchin. Oh.
That was weird. It just disconnected me. Do you remember when I just said that machines do weird shit?
Yeah. Do you know Louise Minchin then, Judd?
Who? Luigi?
Louise Minchin.
Luigi's Mingin. No, I don't know. I don't know who that is.
Apparently, she's just recently left BBC Breakfast's famous red sofa. I still don't know what that means. I have no idea.
Is that a famous sofa? I suppose
I don't know. She was on MasterChef as a contestant once as well.
I don't watch MasterChef.
This lady could just be like someone who works in an office, like down the road or something. So far as I know, I have no clue. Oh, okay. I think there's been more added since I read this. Okay.
Oh,
next is Naughty Boy.
Naughty Boy. That does kind of sound familiar.
No, I know Naughty Boy. This is easily the most famous person. Naughty Boy did that one. La 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 la.
Yeah.
La, la,
oh my god! I used to listen to that song all the time. I remember. Was it Dalton or Maddie that was really young at the time? I think it was Dalton. I remember like being probably about 14 or 15, and he was like a little baby, and I was like dancing around with him to that song in like the living room.
That's got 1.1 billion views, by the way. He does not need to go and I'm a Celebrity. He's going on it because he wants to. I'm rooting for Naughty Boy already. He's my favourite. I want him to win. Oh, he's gone. What's going on here? Oh, is he going to come back? Bear with me, folks. I'm going to try and... Oh, I think we're good.
Was that you this time? Because I didn't leave the call then.
It was... Well, the call just hung up. It was like you hung up for me. I don't know, whatever. Anyway...
I literally wasn't even looking at the screen.
Moving on. He's done a song with Beyonce as well, Naughty Boy, you know.
Has he?
Yeah.
Which one?
Fucking, it's called Running. In brackets, Lose It All. That's got 412
is it that?
Well.
Running, that one.
Is it? I don't know. Let's hear it.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, fucking hell, yeah. Jesus. He's a bit like a David Guetta type of folks, isn't he? He's a bit like an Avicii type of boy.
Yeah.
Similar sort of way he makes... Not similar sound, but similar way he kind of works with artists.
Yeah.
Jesus. He wants to use his time in the castle to raise more awareness about dementia. So that's what he's been doing this whole time, I guess. He's been helping his mum with dementia. Fucking hell, yeah.
I want this guy to win.
Naughty Boy is by far the best person they've put in for sure this year.
Yeah.
Next we've got Dame Arlene Phillips. Wow.
No, not a clue.
Judd, Google her and see if you would smash.
Give me the name again.
Dame Arlene Phillips.
Where the fuck has my mouse gone? My mouse is just not on the screen anymore. There we go. Dane? Did you say?
Dame, like as in dame, like lady.
Oh, like a dame.
Yeah. She's 78, and for 78, Judd, she's looking pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Dame Arlene Phillips.
Arlene. How am I spelling Arlene?
I've
got it. How old is she?
78.
She looks good for her age.
See what I'm saying?
For her age.
Would you smash Dame Arlene
no,
Phillips?
I wouldn't. But she does look very good for her age.
Let's see what she looked like when she was young. Fucking hell, we'll just now start perving on Dame Arlene Phillips. Honestly, not that different. She doesn't look that different. I think she's done well. I'm not.
It's weird.
Fuck naughty boy. I'm now rooting for Dame Arlene Phillips. No.
It's weird. She's like always looked like she was 50, but so obviously that would have sucked when she was younger, but now that she's older, she still looks 50.
Yeah, I think she's older than my grandma. That's so weird.
She's older than mine, definitely.
Who the fuck is she though? Do we know who this is?
I have no idea. I have no idea who she is. No, I've never heard of her.
She's a choreographer and former Strictly judge. Oh. Right. I thought she was going to be like a massive charity worker or something like that, but turns out no, she just danced around a bit.
Yeah.
Anyway, nice. Next, Snoochie Shy.
Snoochie Shy.
Oh, fucking no, Snoochie Shy.
Who the fuck is Snoochie Shy?
She's a DJ, apparently. They're going back to Wales again. It's not in Australia. I don't care where they go, to be honest. Either way, it works, doesn't it? There's just not even much about her in her bio on this. Like, all the other ones, it says, what they've done, like, where you might know them from. This one, it just says, she'll probably be having a tough time in Wales and eating rice and beans.
Oh, all right. Thanks for that, then, I suppose.
She landed her one extra late night slot. Oh, she's not a DJ as in she makes music. She's just like a radio host.
Oh, okay.
Oh, fucking hell. Why is she called Snoochie Shy then? What the hell is that about?
That's a God-given name. She was born with that name. Right, Mrs. Shy, what do you want to call your kid? Snoochie.
Fucking hell.
Brilliant.
What the hell is that? But there you go. Brilliant. So how many did we know, Judd? I knew
Naughty Dog.
About normal, I would say. I'd say we know one person, which is Naughty Boy, and then probably like two halves with Frankie
Naughty
Bridge
Dog.
And Frankie Bridge and Richard Madeley, I would say, is like a half each.
Yeah. So
we know a total of two people on this year's cast. But as always, I'm looking forward to it. I love I'm a Celebrity. I don't know why. We can essentially get the same level of thrill and challenge on like every single YouTube channel that's ever existed at this point.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like it. I think it's because it's nostalgic. It comes around every winter and makes me mildly less sad with the state of the world in winter. Anyone watching the video version of this podcast, can you tell I've lost a lot of weight? I'm feeling good. Do you know why I've lost a lot of weight, Judd?
Because you've been working hard at boxing.
Exactly, because I've got a boxing fight on the 27th of November this year. Charity boxing fight. You can get tickets to that boxing fight in the link in the description of this podcast, no matter where you're listening to it. If you're listening to it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or any other streaming platforms, there'll be a link in the description there. You could be watching the video version after it's recorded on YouTube, on the Streams Badly YouTube channel. Check the link in the description there. There's the option to get tickets. If you're watching live at twitch.tv/streamsbadly, there's obviously not a link here because no fucking description on Twitch. Come on, Twitch, what the fuck is wrong with you? But, go to @tweetsbadly and you can find out more details there. So yeah, you can get tickets to come see the fight if you're around the Barnsley area in the UK on the 27th of November. You can also donate to support the fight. We've raised £535 so far, which is fantastic. If you donate more, for every pound you will donate, I will do 2 push-ups, 2 crunches, 2 star jumps, and run 20 meters, as well as write your name on my training gloves and give you a shout out on this podcast in the update videos that I do. And we have donation goals as well, which means that if we reach £750 donated, which is possible if you guys fucking get your finger out, come on, donate, then I'll be shaving my head. So there you go. That's the boxing update. I have to mention it in every podcast just in case, but there you go.
Do you know why I've lost some weight?
You've shut it all out from having IBS.
I've shut it all out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good guess, huh? Anyway. Right, Judd. Listen up. Listen up, you fucking bitch.
Yes.
Fucking bitch. Yeah.
Go on then. What? Yeah.
I don't know if this happens to you, but there's a weird thing that happens to my body sometimes, okay? Ever since I've turned about 13, I've been starting getting hairs around my penis, and
I was just gonna say, do you start getting hairs?
No, that's not what I mean. You know, sometimes if you stand up too quick, you get like lightheaded and feel a bit wobbly and that.
Yeah, see, I've never had that. I've literally never had that.
That is, I know why that is.
Why?
I genuinely, this isn't me making fun of you. It's probably because you're so short. Like, I'm not joking.
Yeah, no, that probably is it.
You don't have to go up far from when you sit down as fast.
That's probably fair. Yeah,
that genuinely could be it. I feel like
that makes sense. But that makes sense. Yeah,
I get it sometimes, but I get a similar thing if I like really stretch my back out. Sometimes if I've been sat for a long time and I stand up, and well, it's worse if I do it in combination with like getting lightheaded from standing up, but I can do it just from stretching my back. I'm kind of trying to do it now. If I kind of stretch my back out and crack it, sometimes it does a similar sort of thing. I don't know why, but I have to say, it's just every so often, if I hit the right spot with the way I stretch my back, it does it. And it only happens sometimes. But it's more severe than when you get lightheaded from standing up, which you'll not even be able to relate to, which kind of sucks, but like people listening probably can. So when I stretch my back, that happens sometimes, and sometimes I'll stand up, get lightheaded, and do that, and it'll really affect me and get me, and I can tell it's coming on, and I can't really see when it happens. I don't go blind. I am still seeing. It's just that my brain's not like processing the image right or something. And like, I know that I can see everything as normal, but I'm just not getting it in my head. I don't know why. And I like flop over and kind of like melt, essentially. And often when I do it, because I get a slight bit of warning, I drop on a sofa or something like that. And normally I'm standing up from when I've been sat down anyway, and I wouldn't ever do it in public. And so I just kind of sit back down and like go a bit, and then I'm like, it feels kind of good once it's over. You know, kind of like once you've got a big shit, it feels good.
You get a relief. You go, oh yes.
Or when you crack your fingers, like it's a bit like that. So I kind of like doing it. I don't think it's good for me, but I don't really want to question it because I like it.
Just keep doing it. Just like make it happen.
Yeah. So that happens sometimes. If this happens to you, please tweet at tweetsbadly and let me know, because I'd be fascinated to find out what the fuck it is. I can't be bothered Googling it, but if anyone else knows, let me know. But the reason I'm telling you this is, I don't know why. I think it's because of the situations that I do it in, and I maybe have to be comfortable for it to like have an effect. But it's never happened in front of someone. So, like, I almost, for years, have felt like, maybe I'm just imagining this all the time. Like, I don't know, but it happened in front of someone for the first time recently. I was at my girlfriend's house, and I stood up.
I was just going to say, was it Jasmine?
It was. I stood up, and she went to like come and hug me, but I was already like starting to stretch, and I felt it coming on. I was like, oh, I can't immediately sit down, she's trying to hug me, here we go. And what happened was my entire body kind of just melted and flopped, and I kind of like flopped over on this chair and like whacked my head on the table going down.
God, you $1 million babied yourself.
It was. I felt really excited because she could describe what it looked like from externally. Just cracking.
I'm really excited about the whole thing, and Jasmine's like, "Ah!" You fucking dead. You've just got a big smile on your face, like, "Oh, somebody's alright."
Well, essentially, I didn't wake up because I don't go unconscious or anything. It just kind of like, I don't know how to describe it. It just kind of fucks my vision. I know it's happening, but there's nothing I can do about it mid-happening, and I don't know. So I knew it was happening, and I was thinking, oh, finally, it's happening in front of someone. And I kind of fully gained my consciousness again, just to see her, like, looking at me, like, with her mouth up and kind of like, what?
Yeah.
And I immediately, because my brain was still coming round, I said to her, what happened? What happened? And I didn't mean like that's never happened to me before. Why did that happen? I meant, tell me what happened, please. I've been dying for ages.
Yeah.
And she was just like, you just kind of sort of melted everywhere. Oh, but I thought it was quite funny. From her point of view, she'd gone to hug me, and I didn't want to hug so much that I was so petty about it. I just went all over the floor. But when I described to her, no, that was genuinely involuntary. Like that happens to me all the time, and I'm honestly genuinely surprised it's not happened in front of someone before. So she kind of just sort of slowly kind of melted all over. To me, it feels like I'm kind of like shaking a bit and having a seizure, like just very subtly. But apparently, no. Apparently, that's not happening. That's I'm just feeling that within my body. I don't know how that fucking happens, but I kind of melted the other day. So. You never melted? You never done anything like that? Does your body not have any like weird quirks like that?
I mean, apart from my stomach that won't stop forcing me to shit. No, I've never had
feels abnormal, but you've just never felt necessary to tell anyone.
Yes, hold on. I've got a thing right here in my forehead, and it feels like yes.
Yeah, same.
And does everybody have that? Is that just something everybody has?
Like skulls, it feels a bit like you're about to grow a horn, huh?
No, it's not a horn. It feels like a nerve.
Oh.
Like, it feels weird when I go like that. Like, it feels like somebody's got a nerve in my forehead and it's like messing about with it. If I can like sort of grab it like this.
Oh, that feels gross. Oh,
I know.
Watching you do that is fucking gross. Yeah. I hate that.
Hold on. If I grab it here.
Oh God! Oh, why do you do that? Let go! Fuck! I hate that! Stop! That's horrid. That's like it's almost like you're grabbing a chunky vein that's in your forehead.
Yeah.
Fucking hell! You know what we should do? We should try and get a doctor or at least someone who's studying biology on this podcast and just ask him a bunch of weird shit like, why have I got 3 balls? Why when I stretch do I melt? Why has Judd got a weird nerve in his head?
I've actually got a friend who is currently doing teacher training now to be a biology teacher. So
yeah, that'd be perfect. We should do that.
I know a guy. So
yeah, organise that for next week. That'd be good.
Yeah.
I've got a couple more. I remember when I was a kid, your mum noticed this. That sometimes when I'm kind of stood in a certain way, I think it is, and I think it's normally when I've been stood up for a long time or when I've used my legs for a bit, I get this like lump that sticks out of my out of the front of my shin, like it's kind of the front, just to the front and just to the left of the middle of my calf, and like when I say that, like near the shin bone, and I don't know why it is, and it's like squidgy as well. It's really weird. I don't know what that's about. I've got another one as well. Sometimes my neck just like twinges. Like, do you get this sometimes?
That. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I don't know. It's like a twitch. My eye does it more than anything. I'll get like a twitchy eye, like I'm sort of.
It's not a twitch. I don't twitch him. It sends like a sharp pain up the back of my head. And it kind of like dissolves a bit after a little while.
Mine's more like a twitch than like a painful sort of thing.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. That sounds like 2 different things, but I don't know. Fucking weird, huh? It's probably. But the thing is, these are all things that like seem like they're probably not normal, but who cares? You know, it's kind of like that. It's like that's probably fine. I don't really mind that. I bet there's loads of people who've got loads of things like that that's just,
Yeah.
You know?
It's nothing serious. It's like, you know, this weird thing in my head isn't like killing me or anything, but it's just like this weird thing I have that,
one for me that I'm pretty sure is a thing, is that my gums for years, my bottom gums have bled every time I brush my teeth. Pretty sure that's gum disease. But I remember one time as a child, I was watching TV with my family and there was an advert for gum disease and my mum went, oh, what a load of rubbish. And I thought, oh, well, I guess I don't have to worry about that. So I never have. And
nice.
I don't know. It's been happening since I was like 8. My teeth haven't fallen out. I think I'm fine.
Yeah.
I never go to the dentist.
They're a bit. I don't even brush my teeth. I don't see the point in it, to be honest.
Honestly, like, I don't want to sound like a fucking freak, but a lot of stuff from COVID has made me, like, way more skeptical about just everything. So, because we're, like, being pushed for extra boosters and things now and all sorts, it makes me think, I didn't believe that a lot of this medication stuff to do with COVID was just for big companies to profit off of to start with. But the further time goes on, the harder that is to believe. I still don't really believe that, but it's making me more skeptical of that. But it's making me more skeptical of more things. As in, like, dental hygiene. Do I really need to brush my teeth twice a day? Probably. But my point is, it makes me question things like that more, you know?
Yeah.
And especially like, oh, you need to go see your dentist every 6 months. I ain't seen mine in about 8 years, and my teeth are pretty much the same. So, I don't know. I think I'm fine. Like, I don't think that's needed. You know, a lot of this stuff is stuff that does, like, kind of grant rich people more money by doing it, you know? And I was thinking the other day as well, toothpaste and toothbrush. Both needed? Mouthwash, that's not needed. That's too... I'm saying it now. Don't fucking use mouthwash. Don't floss. It's too much. You don't need to. You're taking it too far, you know? It's like, it's too much. And then it got me thinking, if I just put toothpaste in my mouth and kind of like slosh it all over their plaque and that sort of shit that's supposed to make your teeth... Like, that's supposed to be antibacterial. That should kill the thingies that are making my teeth brown and eating my teeth. Right?
Okay.
Yeah? So do I need a brush?
Well, I don't know. I think people used to just, like, get the finger and just get it off. I mean, obviously, this is back in the olden times where people probably had wooden teeth, but I know that people used to do that. They used to just, like, go like that on the teeth, just use a rubber.
Existed before toothbrushes. And I bet they invented toothpaste as, like, a safe cleaning material. So you'll have had, you know, cleaning some sort of like home remedy cleaning solution for cleaning like your bowls or whatever, like, you know, your cutlery, some stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that wouldn't have been safe for your mouth potentially, so they'll have done a mouth one, and they'll have just used some sort of normal brush or like a cloth or something to do that, you know? And then I reckon they invented tiny ones for the, you know, the small ones we have just specifically for your teeth. But it just made me think, if that toothpaste is as good as those toothpaste people say it is, I shouldn't really need a toothbrush. Now, it's not going to stop me using a toothbrush and toothpaste. I'm going to use it still. But what I will say is it'll still leave the plaque on your tooth, obviously. But surely the plaque shouldn't be doing anything. If that makes sense. But so I still don't want plaque on my teeth, even if it's not doing anything. But, you know, it just got me thinking about stuff like that. And I thought it's a bit fucking...
We'll ask the biologist when I get him on. I'll be like, look, listen, should we just as a society stop bathing or, like, you know, taking care of us body?
How much of bathing do you really need to do? Like, do you really need soap all the time? Do I need to get a shower every day? I know I smell a bit, but like, I just smell a little bit, you know? I don't think it's needed.
I shower every day because of my job, and I'll literally stink if I don't have a shower.
Well, I tend to every day because I'm, you know, fucking smashing gym out every day because of boxing lately. So, like, I come home extremely sweaty. So, I don't know. I don't know. And it just got me thinking about a lot of stuff like that. Like, even like buying a house, all the like laws and legislation, you have to sort this shit out. You have to sort this shit out. Do I need to do that? Or is that just keeping a lot of rich lawyers in a job and getting them a lot of money? More likely that he's keeping those people in a job and getting them lots of money. But that's that. Speaking of biologists, Judd, it's now time for this one. Nope, this one.
Freak of the week.
It is time for Freak of the Week. This is where normally Judd has bumped into someone who is freaky and he tells us about them. Have you got one this week, Judd? So...
It's kind of, I've only got like a tiny one, but it like leads onto a bit of a story. So as per usual on the Friday, I went for my food at Spoons, and I'm stood there and waiting in line, and they're having some shit going on with the card machines, so they can't use the card machines. And do you remember me last week saying I find it hilarious when people get like really angry over something that just doesn't matter? Like some guy was getting really angry about the fact that the card machines don't work. He could have just like walked to a cash machine. It's in a train station. There'll be a cash machine in a train station, like somewhere.
Yeah,
or just like near it or something. But this woman were essentially saying to him, "Oh yeah, sorry, the card machine's not working," and he left and he went, "Fucking waste of my time! What a fucking waste!" It was like,
I don't know, man. I relate
about
to that. I kind of get it. Like, it's not that thing's pissed him off so much. It's there'll be 1,000 shitty things have happened, and it's like just that's the one that's.
I know, but at the same time, it's like this this woman's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, this card machine's not working," and he's going, "Fuck."
I know. I sympathise. I think that's fine. I'm fine with that. And you know what? A round of applause. I like that. I like it. Well done. I'm glad he had the guts to snap. Because sometimes I think, you know what? I'm going to go into the middle of a busy area and just start screaming at people about how shit they all are. And sometimes I get the urge to do that.
You say that, but so I'm thinking, whoa, what is up with this guy? They're just trying to do the jobs. And then I order my food. I was paying in cash anyway, so it didn't matter for me that the card machines weren't working. But I went and got my food, like paid for it, and I went and sat down, and I sat there for about half an hour, like 40 minutes, something like that. My food still hadn't shown up, and these like group of lads that had walked in after me, they'd probably been sat there for about 10-20 minutes. They all got their food, so I'm like, what the fuck? So I went up to the bar and I'm like, yo, I ordered food about 40 minutes ago. These lads came in after me and they've been served before me. And they're like, what did you order? What table number? I'm like, large breakfast, table 31, I think we're at. And she goes, right, okay, I'll go and see what's going on with that. So I'm like, all right. So she goes and then comes back. And she's talking to somebody else about something, and then also about the fact that I've not got my food. And then her friend comes up to me and goes, "What table and what food did you get?" I was like, "Okay, I was at table 31, and I got a large breakfast." All right, okay. Then her friend comes back and says to me, "Sorry, what were it that you ordered?" I'm like, "Large breakfast," and I'm at table 31. She goes, "Oh yeah, okay, all right. I'm going to go back in the back and just chase that up really quick." Okay, all right then. She comes back. What? Where were you sat? I'm about to snap. I'm about to.
Yeah.
And I literally looked at her like she was a fucking idiot because this is what she was, and I went, "Large breakfast, table 31," and she's like, "Oh, I'm really sorry. Can you go sit down? It'll be with you in the next 10 minutes." And I'm like, "Right, okay." So I go sit down, and then somebody else fucking comes up to me, another girl, and goes, "What did you order?" A large.
At what point do you start thinking that you're in like a prank show?
I know. At what point do you think is Eric Andre gonna like bust through the fucking window or something? But it was ridiculous. I was like, "Large breakfast," and she's like, "Oh yeah, we've got it right here for you." I'm like, "What? Just bring it over." Yeah. So
well,
it's less. It was less the guy that was a freak and more the entire staff at Weatherspoons.
Oh, this is at Weatherspoons as well. I wasn't really listening fully. I'm guessing you probably said it was at Weatherspoons to start
I said it was at Spoons, yeah.
Weatherspoons are normally really consistent, actually, which is kind of weird. But my entry for Freak of the Week is I was watching Embarrassing Bodies, and fucking hell, that show never disappoints. Whenever you boot up an episode of Embarrassing Bodies, like, it is fucking, it's what you get, it's what it says on the tin. Like, you know, sometimes you might watch, like, tattoo fixers, and it's like, that tattoo ain't really that bad, or they're not even fixing a tattoo here, you've just got a sad story or something like that. There's loads of shows that are kind of like that. Super size versus super skinny, sometimes they're not mega big or mega skinny, but fucking Embarrassing Bodies, let me tell you what, it's always good. Every time.
Listen, I'm telling you, you go there to see some freak. You're there for a freak show, and boy, do you get a freak.
But they fucking sort them right out as well. There's not much more for me to say about it other than, like, that it's actually just a great show. It's actually just really fun to watch. There was this one, like, old lady who had a prolapse out of her ass. And it was awful. But they stitched her stitched her butthole right up, and she got sorted out. There was this dude who had this kind of genetic issue where on a bunch of his nerve glands. It was Jed, he couldn't stop shit.
Just can't stop shit.
On a bunch of his nerve glands, he kept growing tumours, but, like, benign tumours. They weren't, like, bad. It would just meant that, like, he had, like, loads of, like, lumps growing off of him, essentially. And the thing is, to me, once you know that that's not infectious, like a fungal infection or something like that, my first thought is, I want to feel them to see what they're like. What does that feel like? Is it hard? Is it squidgy? So it's essentially just a bunch of, like, flesh and, like, skin and shit, like, growing on him. And he had an operation to take it all off. And, or like, the big ones that were most bothersome off. Because he had one that were massive growing off the back of his head. And they managed to sort out, like, loads of it for him, and it sorted him right out. And it weighed about, I think they said it weighed about 4 pounds, like this tumor on the back of his head, or something like that, which is crazy. And apparently, obviously, because they were essentially just hacking flesh off of him, he was going to lose a lot of blood, and they had to, like, keep filling his blood back up at the same time as operating on him. And apparently he lost all of his blood while doing it. And obviously blood was going in as it was coming out. So he had a complete blood transfusion. All the blood that was in his body by the end of it was from someone else.
Oh my god.
That's insane. Embarrassing Bodies does not fuck around. Honestly, that's a good fucking show. It's like been going for years, and I don't even know if it's still going, but fucking get... Take me to Embarrassing Bodies. It's cough. No. But yeah, it's a good show. Get on Channel 4, watch that shit. Yeah.
Speaking of good shows, have you had the chance to watch any Arcane yet?
I haven't, because I've been watching another show that I wanted to tell you about. Arcane's next on my list. I'm going to watch Arcane next, because we have a spreadsheet, if you don't know, that where we rate movies and TV shows. And currently, the League of Legends animated show Arcane is rated as the overall best movie or TV show ever on there.
I mean, I'm really torn about it, because now the last time I rated it, it was only episode 1 to 3 had come out, because they're doing it like there's 3 acts, and every week they're putting out like all 3 episodes in the act. So on Saturday it's going to be like the last act, then it's all going to be out. And I'd only seen Act 1, which was like, it was good. But then episode 4 and 5 happened, and it's like, this show's fucking superb. It's really good. It's at least gonna, because I want to, before I give it its final rating, I want to have watched the entire thing. Yeah. But at the moment, it's easily cracking a 90.
I think, because you gave it 78 back then. Do you want me to change it to a 90?
You can put it to a 90 now, yeah. You can put that to a 90.
That's by far now the highest rated show.
It's, honestly, it's phenomenal. It's awesome.
I'm going to watch it then. I want it all to be out. That's how I prefer to watch a show, like, no matter what it is. So I'll wait for it all to come out. But
on Saturday it'll all be out.
Yeah, I'll do that, because I'll probably only start watching it by Saturday. It's got, you gave it 90, Rotten Tomatoes critics gave it 100, Rotten Tomatoes audience gave it 98, IMDb gave it 94, that means the average of just the websites is 97, but the average including judge score is 96 out of 100. Bear in mind, 100's the perfect movie or TV. The next closest to that is a 91. And that doesn't seem like a huge gap, but in terms of like the top end of perfection of this, movies and TV and stuff, that's a huge gap. As in, the next 4, so third place to what? Third, fourth, fifth, and sixth are all 90. So normally, there's a massive tie. And then the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The next 10 after that are all 89. So normally it's properly close.
Yeah.
So it's insane. If I count 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. So the top 5 before Arcane came on, there was only literally 1 point's difference in any of them. So everyone from 2nd to 5th were all joint at 90, and then number 1 was 91. And now Arcane is 96. Honestly, nothing gets that high as an average overall. It's insane.
When I first rated it, I don't know if I'd even watched episode 3 yet. I think I'd only watched 1 and 2. And they're good. They're good episodes. But 3 happens, and you just go, this show's awesome. It's so good.
My question for you about it is, do you have to be into League of Legends in any way for it?
Nope. No, not in the slightest.
Well, that's good,
I don't know. I don't know anything about the lore of League of Legends. I know a bit about certain characters. Like if I like a certain character, I might go, I wonder what they're about, and I'll have a little read up on them. But really, I don't know much about the League of Legends lore. And if I really like a show, what I'll do is I'll watch a load of reaction videos.
Yeah.
Because I'm I want to see how other people reacted to this. Yeah. And literally, people who have never played the game or had anything to do with it are this is one of the best shows I've ever seen. It's fantastic. It's really good.
Good, I guess. I mean, that's cool. I don't know what else to say. It's I'll give it a go. I've been watching... Oh, go on.
The thing is it could have so easily been really bad.
It could have. I think that might be what's surprising people, Yeah.
Because, for instance, it's at the beginning of every episode in the intro thing that plays, the intro song's done by Imagine Dragons, and it's God, I mean, they're not terrible, but it's you just get that sort of feeling of, Imagine Dragons.
Yeah.
And, it was, but it's good. It's really, really good.
Well, great. I mean, speaking of amazing shows, I've been watching a fucking amazing show. I'm having to rearrange the spreadsheet a lot. There's a lot of shows that I've rated quite highly that I don't think should be so high. But, no, I think I'm just looking through the spreadsheet. I probably should look at this another time. But it's Utopia. I think I've told you about this already, haven't I? Have I told you about this?
I think so.
So I've told you about it, but I'll go through telling you about it again. It's what you call a conspiracy thriller, I suppose. And it came out in 2013. And I think you would really love it. I hesitate to tell you about it again, because I really think you should watch this show. I'm gonna try not to spoil it, but tell you why it's kind of... I've given it 83 out of 100, I think I'd give it. No, 82 out of 100. Yeah. Because sometimes, the only reason it's kind of at 82 and not up close to a 90 or further than that is, during the middle of seasons, there's only 2 seasons of it, there should be 3, so that's kind of a bit of a thing, but it got cancelled, and it could have done with a 3rd season, and then that would have been the perfect amount of seasons for it. But it didn't manage to get one, unfortunately. So that kind of does dampen it a bit. But the other thing is, during the middle of each season, the story gets a little bit hard to follow, which isn't great. But it's just, the characters in it are so cool. The idea of it is so cool. And the main reason it's worth mentioning, rather just that I've enjoyed it loads, and because we don't mention everything on the podcast like this, do we? But there's so many freakily scary similarities with the world nowadays and like COVID going on and
you have told me about this.
and all of that sort of thing. It's scary how similar it is in that there is a virus that's been created.
Yeah.
So drive people towards being desperate for a vaccine, and then in that vaccine there's some dodgy shit basically that does some things just like people have been scared about now, and it's fucking weird, honestly.
Yeah,
it's how similar it is weird. And then there's this scientist guy who's really obsessed with overpopulation. Again, obviously the reason they've got that real world link is because like they were worried about that in 2013 as well. But the fact that they kind of did that like 7 years before it happened to with COVID is unreal. And then there's even stuff like they use real world events that's happened and that are kind of like not like explained, but not particularly well. And they almost just give a way better explanation for it. So, for example, when Margaret Thatcher got into power in our country, when the Conservatives got into power, there was a vote of no confidence for the Labour Party. If you're Americans, that means that Republicans took over from the Democrats because there was a vote of no confidence on the Democrats. Basically like that.
Yeah.
But it was a little bit surprising that there was a vote of no confidence on the Labour Party. It wasn't completely surprising because obviously a vote had been called for, so there weren't that much trust in him. But that it happened was kind of like, oh, it actually happened then. I guess people heard it even more. A little bit like, you know, when Trump and Hillary were going up against each other, everyone was like, there's no way Trump can win. And then I woke up one day and was like, oh, fuck, he actually did win. It was kind of like that. But they offered an explanation based on kind of the secretive, it's called the network, I guess is the only word for this secretive organisation. It's not much of an organisation either, which is really cool because it's kind of, it makes more sense when you watch it. It's hard to describe especially without spoilers. So they kind of fudged that election basically in a realistic way that makes more sense than what we're told actually happened. And same with like this plane crash that actually happened in the real world. It was like mysterious. There was a bomb on it and no one wanted to own up to it at all or investigate it either. And it was like, why? Yeah. And it makes it, you know, there's good explanation for it in the show, and it's just insane. And what's weird about it, all these things are explained, and it's kind of predicted things in the future. And one of the elements of it, the main thing, the thing it's named after, is the Utopia manuscript, which is a comic book written by this scientist who made the disease, and like, but it's predicting the future really well. With certain things, but only because the dude's really smart. It's not like supernatural, it's because the dude's really smart. So that's freaky as well, that it's been predicting the future of massive things happening, and one of the things in the show is a book that predicts the future of massive things happening, and it's like, oh my god. And also, what freaked me out is something that I'm going to send to you now, Judd. I was watching the very last episode.
Okay.
And basically, it's where one of these sleeper agents gets activated and he's going to disperse the disease. It's just sending the video now. And he's acting like a normal dude, basically. I'm trying to stall so this video can send, because it's taking ages to fucking send it. I don't know why. But it freaked me out because of the location of where it is. And you'll see it soon. I was watching it because I was hooked on the last. I watched the third to last episode, and it was like really good. It's like, oh fucking hell, I'm gonna finish this tonight. I'm gonna be up late, but I'm gonna finish it tonight because I'm desperate. I need to see this. And so
I need to Sarkeesian.
So I did. Fucking hell. Let me see if I can send it to you another way. One sec. Bear with us, viewers.
A link on like to you?
No,
a YouTube
I videoed it myself.
Oh right.
Do 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 do. Right, it's sent. I think
on Facebook.
Yeah, on Facebook. Yeah, I think it's sent. So can you play that? It's the location of where this bit of video was taken. Yeah, it's definitely sent. And I saw that, like, I went to the bathroom at, like, nearly midnight. My mum had already gone to bed, and I went, oh my god! Because I saw where this bit
oh my god!
Yeah, I know. Where's that?
What?
Do you recognise that?
What the?
And I'd connected with the show so much, and it was freaking me out. Like, oh my god, this has got so many parallels to kind of. I know it's a bit selfish to say what's happening around me, being as it's like COVID and things it's predicted. But then I watched the last episode, the last scene, when the sleeper agent's going to let everything loose, and it's in the bus station of my hometown, and it was freaking me out. We live in a place where things like that don't happen. Things don't get filmed here, do they? Like, no, like it weren't a huge show ever, but it was way too big to think they'd ever film something in Barnsley. Like, I never thought they'd do that. But they filmed a scene in Barnsley bus station. And it's essentially... Are you watching the clip? Can you hear the audio?
Yeah.
It's essentially what happens is there's this kid who comes up to this sleeper agent, and his mum's like, oh, sorry, like, he came up to you and he's a bit ill. And they're talking about how, we're not taking a plane to France because we're trying to protect the environment. And this guy's like, oh, well, why did you have a child then? Because they're the worst things you can have on an environment, a first world child. You should probably just slit his throat right now. In fact, I can do it for you if you want. And that's probably the best thing we could do. And then he goes to reach for something as if he's going to pull a knife out, and it's just his bus ticket. And it's like, oh, it was, it was freaky. It was really weird to see that. And it just like, I don't know, it freaked me out. There's not a good place to watch Utopia. You can't see it. It's not on Channel 4 streaming thing. It is on Amazon to buy, but you have to buy a certain version of it. It has to be the one with a Channel 4 banner on it, rather than the Amazon one. So otherwise, the Amazon one's really censored because it's quite graphic, the show. And also, the Amazon one crops in the aspect ratio to make it normal 16:9 when the show's shot in ultra widescreen for a reason. So there's a lot of problems with it like that. You have to get the Channel 4 version on Amazon. Also, that Channel 4 version that is on Amazon, make sure it's the UK one, and you can only stream that in the UK as well. So it's really awkward to actually watch. I can give you a link, Judd, if you do want to watch it. But
I didn't know that. I hate that. That freaks me out. That
it'd freak you out more if you watch the actual show, because fucking hell, trust me, it's weird. It kind of freaks. It makes you want to believe in conspiracies because it just makes so much more sense. What that show presents. It's hard to say it without spoilers, but yeah, basically, Utopia. Good fucking show. Give that a watch.
Yeah. No, that's freaky. I don't like that.
Your reaction to it was potentially bigger than mine then. That's crazy.
I didn't like that. I genuinely really didn't like that.
It's so weird seeing a place that we've seen so often on TV, though, isn't it?
I'm there every day.
Yeah.
I'm there every day because I work, so...
Yeah. Anyway, unless you've got anything else, Shud, I think that's a podcast.
I think
Judd's going to go away and contemplate life for a little bit now.
I don't like that. I'm going to... Yeah.
Right then. Bye.
Bye.